Little known fact, Pittsburgh, my father-in-law, for a time, was a practicing magician, which is maybe one small reason why I think I have a little bit of a soft spot for the sleight of hand. Liberty Magic is Pittsburgh's premier speakeasy theater, and they've got a pretty cool act in town right now. Rob Zabrecki's The Zabrecki Hour features comedy, storytelling, and, of course, magic. But like the curious kind that may leave you thinking long after you have left downtown. Get your tickets for this unique show, The Zabrecki Hour, at trustarts.org/magic. Today on CityCast Pittsburgh, fireworks, hot dogs, ice cream, and pickles. Honestly, I'm not sure Pittsburgh could build a better summertime Mount Rushmore. Today, we're sharing some of our favorite experiences, ideas, and events to help you make the most of the city this month, including a road race for tiny cars, the annual furry convention, and one very special dinosaur birthday. It's Monday, July 1st. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. So if you're new here to CityCast Pittsburgh, we cover all kinds of things. So news, local history and nostalgia, food, arts and culture, plus so many events. We love talking about ways to explore our city. And for all of our shows, it is never just me. Even when they're not on mic, I am almost always joined by CityCast producers Mallory Falk.
Hey, Megan.
And Sophia Lowe.
Hey.
And guides like these bring all of that together. We really focus in on our favorite ways to experience Pittsburgh every month, especially in the summertime.
Or the ways we aspire to experience Pittsburgh.
Yes.
We set a lot of goals here on this show.
Yes, always good to have monthly goals. There is so much to do, always something new here. On this show, we will also be talking about good food and drinks you can get in July, some events to put on your calendar. If you find any of this helpful, if you take any of our suggestions and go out and experience the city that way, you could show us some extra support by signing up for a CityCast Pittsburgh membership.
And there are so many perks for membership. We have ad-free listening, you get early access to events, and if those recommended episodes from other podcasts bother you when they appear in our feed, these go away when you become a member.
Yes, such a pro tip. So I guess let's dive in. What are y'all most looking forward to this month? Sophia, let's start with you.
Yes, I realized I am going to 3 baseball games this month.
What?
That's really wild for me because I have only been to 2 baseball games ever.
You're really turning into quite the Pittsburgher with all these sporting events.
Thank you. These are not all Pirates games, though. 2 of them are, and the first one is coming up on July 6th, which is one of their free t-shirt days.
That's so important. Pirates do a ton of free giveaways. If you're not familiar, I have this longstanding theory that the worse the team is, the better their entertainment gets. You can find the dates for all of their fun stuff. Sometimes they do like t-shirts, Hawaiian shirts, bobbleheads, plus fireworks nights and concerts. So that all lives online.
Yeah, and if you're trying to score some free goodies, definitely show up early. I did not get a free t-shirt last year, so I'm going to do whatever it takes to get one this time around. And then the other Pirates game is actually going to be our team outing because we are going to help you plan the perfect day at PNC Park. But if you want to give us some tips and hacks, please reach out to us.
Yes, we want to know all of your good stuff.
Yes, if you have favorite ways to experience a Pirates game, things you have to eat at the stadium, any kind of hacks, please text us or leave us a voicemail at 412-212-8893. You can also send us an email at pittsburgh@citycast.fm, and we might just feature your hack on an upcoming show.
Okay, Mallory, what about you? What activity are you most excited for this month?
So Pittsburgh's most iconic dinosaur, Dippy, is turning 125.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Dippy. I mean, Dippy is actually millions of years old because this is an actual dinosaur skeleton we're talking about, a Diplodocus. It's the one with the really long neck that's at the Carnegie Museum of Natural History.
Yeah, there's also like a statue version outside the museum. He wears scarves in the wintertime, sometimes little hats. I saw sunglasses once. I was very impressed. Very briefly, actually, an acquaintance of mine said that he was the person in the bucket truck that got to change Dippy's outfits.
What? Dream job.
And he posted a selfie once, so I think it's legit.
Does he get to choose the outfits?
No, I think Dippy has a separate stylist.
Oh, well, my dream job, either one of them.
Well, Dippy should be wearing a birthday hat this month because it is the 125th anniversary of when he was first discovered, and the museum is hosting a ton of events to celebrate.
I am so excited for this. Dippy has such a cool backstory.
Truly. So some brief Dippy history here. Back in the day, Andrew Carnegie funded an expedition to get a dinosaur for Pittsburgh. The archaeologist on that expedition uncovered these dinosaur bones out in Wyoming and ended up discovering a new dinosaur species. So they named it Diplodocus carnegii, affectionately known now as Dippy, boxed up the bones, sent them to our fair city, and Dippy was so big the museum had to build an entire new wing just to display it.
Yeah, Dippy's a star, and I know there's actually replicas of this dinosaur in museums all around the world, so Dippy isn't just famous in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the museum says Dippy is arguably the most visible dinosaur fossil in the world. Big claim, but probably true. Anyway, if you want to do a Dippy deep dive or just party it up with other dino enthusiasts, the museum is hosting all kinds of events throughout July. There is a full-day symposium that's happening on Friday, July 12th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That looks especially exciting.
Yes, I've got my ticket. I will be going to some of the lectures. So it's a full day of talks from scientists, experts, historians who are going to share more about Dippy. One talk I'm especially excited for is about, quote, deciphering the appearance of extinct dinosaurs, end quote. Why did they specify extinct? Aren't they all extinct? I don't know.
I didn't even think about that. I love it. I mean, birds are kind of dinosaurs, right?
I guess. But anyway, this whole chat is going to be someone sharing how colorful Dippy was in real life and like how they figured that out. I am so intrigued.
You know, this museum actually does a lot of interesting history about that. We should talk about dinosaurs, you and me, Sophia. I feel like there'd be some fun stuff to discuss.
Yeah, I'm worried I'm going to come in with more conspiracy theories, but okay.
Rude that I'm being excluded, but fine. I'll produce behind the scenes. But yes, if lectures are not your thing, you're not trying to sit through a talk in the summertime, there will also be hands-on activities for kids. There is a teen night at the museum, an after-hours rock star bash, but you've got to be 21 plus for that one. And then there's also just a straight-up birthday party for Dippy, but you do need to be a museum member for that one. Sophia, I think you're the only member of our team with a membership, so maybe the only one who has an invite to this exclusive birthday party.
Yep, I RSVP to that one too. Also on the 12th, they said to show up in dinosaur costumes or like outfits, but all of my dinosaur clothes are sweaters. So
I have a dinosaur onesie. You're welcome to borrow it.
Okay, I might have to crop it. It might turn into a crop top. Okay, Megan, tell us your pick. What are you doing in July?
I'm going to go with music. So there's a bunch of festivals and performances coming up this month. If you missed Four Chord in June, I feel like half of my feed was full of that. There is still a lot to look forward to. So the first one coming up is the North Side Music Festival. That's July 12th through 14th.
Yeah, that one is totally free. It's in Deutschtown. There will be more than 75 performers. And then the very last day of the festival is Gospel Sunday, which takes me back to my New Orleans days going to the Gospel Tent at Jazz Fest. I'm excited for that.
I love free music festivals. Are there any other ones I should put on my radar, even if they're paid?
Well, this one might hit some of your interests, Sophia. Depends on your mindset. On July 23rd, there is something called the Sad Summer Festival at Stage AE. The lineup includes some older rockers, Mayday Parade, We the Kings, Hot Milk. There's a whole bunch of them.
Maybe a few years ago when I was in my moping era, I would have been looking forward to something like this, but I am having a hyper pop summer. It definitely sounds like a good theme, though.
Yeah, for sure. And then we'll throw in a dance event just to mix things up. Dance Africa Pittsburgh is happening at the new Hazlitt Theater on July 27th and 28th. So they're going to have local, national, and international performances. I have never been to this, but I have heard great things about it. So maybe this will finally be my year.
Yeah, I haven't either, but you're intriguing me. I might go check it out.
And then I'll end it with what I'll generously call some dad music that seems to be popping up. These are all at Star Lake. July 2nd, Red Hot Chili Peppers. July 12th, Chris Stapleton. Maybe a little cooler than dad music. July 13th, Bret Michaels, which is a name I forgot existed in the world. And July 31st, a Pittsburgh favorite, Styx and Foreigner with John Waite.
Yes, people should definitely listen to our Renegade episode before they go. We asked and answered whether the Styx song Renegade really helps the Steelers win. We had some hard data to back it up, so go check it out.
And my last pick for a July experience, God, I really picked a lot. I have no chill. The Vintage Grand Prix that's happening in Shenley Park. So it goes on for a while. It's July 21st through August 4th. I'm wondering if either of you have ever been.
Megan, I'm a certified passenger princess. I know nothing about cars besides I hop in.
Fair enough. Valerie, what about you? I feel like it's like so classic. It's been happening for years. It's in the East End, like close to where you grew up, and it shuts down a major city park and thoroughfare for days. Like I feel like you had to have at least run into this thing.
Not really. I mean, we were not really a car family growing up. I continue to not really be a car person, maybe like slightly more than Sophia because I do get behind the wheel, but I'm not actually into cars. So this was not on my radar. I actually looked it up because I was curious if it even existed when I was a kid, but it's been happening since before I was born. So I am a little surprised I never saw it. Yeah, it says it started in 1983.
That's fascinating.
Okay, Megan, convince us to go.
Well, first of all, it is free. Second, the cars. They are mostly sort of miniature, so like not go-karts or anything. They are full adult human-sized vehicles. But they're all vintage and mostly foreign made. And so they're just also cute and little, and like whole families set up these like big tents and have little cookouts on this big hill, and they show off their work like it is an adult science fair. It is so
that's fun,
nerdy and sweet to like walk through and talk to them. But even if you're not a people person, there are always food trucks. There's usually like a big kids area. And if you are there during an actual race, they shut down a huge chunk of Shenley Park and set up hay bales and tires and stuff to like make sure that it's safe for spectators. Mm-hmm. And it's just so fun and weird to watch these little cars zip around all of these major roads between all of this stuff. It just feels very old school and quaint.
I mean, I did get into Formula One, Drive to Survive, the documentary series on Netflix. So
I did not watch that one.
It's riveting, but the part of it that's captivating is the interpersonal drama. Like the races, I think, feel secondary. So even though maybe I'm slightly more open to watching a race than I used to be, like if I don't know which of these racers is kind of the good-natured underdog, which one is the talented, arrogant robot, which one is the Nepo baby with lots of family pressure to succeed, then I don't think these races will be as interesting to me. Sorry.
I will pretend I'm watching Mario Kart in real life.
That's the move. I'm not saying that you need to be there for the entire 2 weeks, but if you have a couple of hours to burn at any point during that period, consider checking out a race. It is just a fun and weird summer Pittsburgh tradition to poke around.
Weighing in with soybeans and a baby show straight out of Norburn, Missouri, we have Soybean Festival. From Hayward, Wisconsin, at 73 years young with the world's largest muskie statue, put it together for Muskie Fest. Finally, packing a punch with fire dancing and a pet costume contest, the Roseau, Minnesota Fall Harvest Fest. One of these festivals could win $100,000 in the Cenex Hometown Throwdown. You decide. Cast your vote at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Let's move on to some food and drink recommendations. What are y'all looking forward to noshing on this month?
So if you really want to lean into lowbrow food culture, this month we've got National 7-Eleven Day and National Hot Dog Day. 7-Eleven Day is unsurprisingly on 7-Eleven, and you can get a free Slurpee.
Not lowbrow culture, classic culture. I love 7-Eleven. My record has been hitting up 3 stores for 3 free Slurpees.
I don't do that, but I was at least traveling last year and I snagged one completely by accident. I just love a turnpike treat.
Ooh, good call. So then National Hot Dog Day is on July 17th. It is also National Hot Dog Month. I'm not sure why we need both. But anyway, Sophia, I have to imagine that you will be celebrating with the Renegade dog.
I feel like I should explain what's actually on the Renegade dog because I've said how excited I am to try it without actually describing what's on it. So here we go. It's a new menu item at PNC Park this year. It is a foot-long hot dog topped with pot roast, pierogies, pickles, and caramelized onions.
You know, I really wanted one of these when I went to a game last month, but it was 1 million degrees outside and I just could not eat anything, let alone pot roast.
I'll do it. I don't care how hot it is. I want it. I'm not exactly sure if you can have the Renegade dog on National Hot Dog Day, though. It was supposed to be like a limited edition food that was available until the All-Star break, but I saw the executive chef for Aramark, that's the food and beverage company for PNC Park, say that it could stick around for the rest of the season if it's popular, but I haven't seen an update on the final verdict yet.
Well, you definitely have time to try it early in the month. The All-Star break begins on Friday, July 12th. Hot Dog Day is the 17th, and then you've got all of Hot Dog Month, I guess. I don't know, Sophie. I think you should put in a good word and try to sway the decision.
If I like it. I haven't tried it yet. We'll see.
That's true. You are a very honest reviewer.
Also, you know, Pittsburgh being Pittsburgh, we had to insert ourselves into the national hot dog discourse, so not just the Renegade dog. If you've not been following the drama, Joey Chestnut is one of the top competitors in Nathan's hot dog eating contest, which is the one that takes place every 4th of July in New York. He is not allowed to compete this year because he signed a deal with Impossible Foods, which makes fake meat. As the resident vegetarian on the team, I call BS on this ruling. But anyway,
agreed. I'm also
yes.
furious.
Good. We need the carnivores speaking up on Joey's behalf as well. But anyway, Permanis took this opportunity to step in and say, "We have got you. Come on over to Pittsburgh."
Yeah, we covered this in our Hey Pittsburgh newsletter. I just love this story. So Permanis challenged Joey Chestnut to set a new record for the most sandwiches scarfed in one sitting. The current unofficial record is 5.
Wow.
I can't believe someone ate 5 of those behemoth sandwiches. These are the ones with fries stuffed into the middle. Not sure if Chestnut is going to take us up on that, but I really appreciate Permanis for shooting their shot.
That's so fun. Well, it's also National Ice Cream Month. We also have a National Ice Cream Day, Mallory.
I don't
Womp womp.
I don't understand. Maybe this is my next investigative deep dive by a month and a day.
Well, we're hoping to put together a more comprehensive list of recommendations later this month, and we want your help. The official National Ice Cream Day is July 21st, so we'll also be on the lookout for local deals. You can also let us know if your favorite spot is doing anything to celebrate.
Or let us know your favorite spot. If you fancy yourself a Pittsburgh ice cream expert, we want to hear from you. Please reach out. Hit us up at pittsburgh@citycast.fm or get in our DMs. We lurk more than we post, but we are at CityCastPGH. So let us know where you love to go, any deals on your radar, or if there are any flavor combos that you think are just perfect.
Yes, obsessions, please. We want to hear about them. One ice cream event to put on your radar early. On July 28th, Presley Ridge is hosting its annual Ice Cream Fun Day, spelled like Sunday,
Cute.
at the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium. Presley Ridge is a really old organization. They're headquartered here. They help kids and families with complex needs. But this is all going to feature flavors from Graders, which is almost local. They are originally a Cincinnati brand. They're really good, though. I can't give them shade.
Well, if you prefer salty things over sweet, it is also National Pickle Month. And in Pittsburgh, that means it's time for one of our biggest food festivals, Picklesburg. Are either of you planning on trying to brave the heat and crowds for that?
I mean, I don't want to be a party pooper, but I feel like one pass through Picklesburg is all I needed. I went a few years ago to do some taste testing for CityCast. I can still call up the taste of chocolate-covered pickles in my mouth, and it's not a taste. I'd prefer not to have that sense memory.
You look like you were going to absolutely vomit on the pickle cannoli.
I'm sorry, what? Y'all are eating the wrong pickle.
I had high hopes for that pickle cannoli, but it did me wrong.
No, you just gotta lean into the salty part. I had this pickle sandwich with deli meat in it last year, and that was pretty good.
That does sound good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still on the fence about whether I'll go because the lines are really long. I don't like pickles that much, but my friends convinced me I'm open to it, mostly to watch the pickle juice drinking contest since I missed that last year.
I think the one that I will never forget or forgive, frankly, is Millie's. They were selling a disgusting pickle ice cream. It's fine to let people try your creation, but when it's this bad, you should not be selling it. It tasted like a slimy, briny green booger, like just pure snot. They did have a peach one that was excellent, but like, why
Pickle
would you
peach,
give
yeah.
anyone that pickle green ice cream? It was awful.
I've also tried that. Agreed. Disgusting.
The peach one, though. Peach one was so good.
Sorry, Millies, we do love your other flavors.
Yes.
Well, Picklesburg's also added a couple more competitions to its list this year. We got a press release from the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership about it. All of these games are called the Olympical Games.
Olympical. Yeah, I like it.
I'm kind of imagining the one where you like have an egg under your neck and have to pass it to a partner, but with just like a slimy, slippery pickle. I'm assuming that's not what's on deck, though.
I was picturing bobbing for pickles, which is a little bit more like it's a lot of pickle juice to the face, you know?
That is one of the games. So
Wait, really?
Yes, there's a pickle eating contest and a bobbing for pickles thing. But one thing the press release did not specify is whether the pickles would be in water or pickle juice when you're bobbing for them, because I would feel very differently if I was sticking my head in water versus brine.
I think it better be brine. Like, that's part of the experience.
Well, besides the games, we've got one more update about Picklesburg. It is 4 days long now. So if you want to eat a lot of pickles, you want to bob for them, you want to douse yourself in pickle juice, you will have from July 18th to July 21st to experience all of that goodness. All of this is going to take place on the Boulevard of the Allies downtown, which is also important to note if you are trying to avoid the crowd, the road closures, to stay as far away from pickles as possible.
Yeah. And last up, a shout out to another event that same weekend. It's just one day, the Allegheny County Wine and Spirits Festival. I did not know that the county threw a wine and spirits festival. There are 2 sessions, an early one and a later one. As of this recording, the 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. session is still available. It's all local producers. So if you want to try Pennsylvania wine, that'll be available to you. And it's put on by our Parks Department, just $30. And finally, we've got some fun one-off events to mark your calendar in July for. So, of course, there's the 4th of July, just a few days from now, which means there's going to be a bunch of fireworks in and around the city. The official Pittsburgh celebration is on the 4th. It's from 4 to 10 p.m. at Point State Park. There'll be music, family-friendly stuff, food. But if you are just in the business for the fireworks, those kick off like from a boat off the point at 9:35 p.m. They are usually very prompt.
And if you want to experience those fireworks on the Allegheny River, there is actually a fireworks paddle starting at 8:30. It's hosted by Venture Outdoors. It is a little pricey, $93, but it sounds so cool to be on the water for the fireworks display. They also have another fireworks paddle later in the month that is a little more affordable, though you will miss, the grand 4th of July display.
That really does sound fun and so much less crowded.
But if you post up on high ground, like the night of the 4th, you're going to see fireworks from all over the region. I sort of love that about Pittsburgh. Like if you're on Mount Washington or if you're high up in Oakland, like if you just look around 360 degrees, you will see them everywhere. It's really cool.
Yeah, I have not done that, but that sounds like extra spectacular. To me, though, summer in Pittsburgh always means it is time for Anthrocon, which is the premier furry convention. I just love when furries from the world over descend on our city. It's such a fun time to hang out downtown so you can see all the elaborate fursuits and also marvel over how people stay cool inside of them.
Yes.
I still don't understand.
Internal fans.
I'm sure.
Internal fans, lots of hydration. If you want like a guaranteed furry sighting, of course, there is the annual parade and block party through downtown. You can come and see the spectacle for yourself. This year it is on Saturday, July 6th, starting at 2 p.m. But Megan, I know that you have some tips for checking out the crowd a little more informally.
Yes. If you are game, if you have the free time, if you can escape work for a little while, find a patio downtown, particularly on Friday, and near the convention center. Just perch because people are so friendly. They're so happy to be in the city. This is on the early end of the convention, so everyone's just arriving. And I just love how excited everybody is to be in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Like I would feel that way about any out-of-towner who's pumped to be here, but it brings so many like nice people looking for community and like happy experiences. And so many of these folks also come like year on year on year. So they become like Pittsburgh super tourists. I feel like I've learned a lot from like their perspective of how they see the city and how it changes year on year on year.
Oh, that's so interesting. I've never thought about that. So people all hang out downtown. Is there any other part of the city this takes place?
Well, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say a lot of the furry community that I've spoken to also identifies as queer. So you often see furries or folks decking like pieces of furry costumes out in like Shadyside, for example, or Lawrenceville. A lot of small businesses, especially downtown, will hang like signs saying that folks are welcome. Like some restaurants sell beverages with long straws to accommodate the fursuit heads so that you don't have to reveal your identity. You don't have to take your head off. And I once saw someone take a shot that way. It was very impressive.
Ooh, yeah, I bet. Well, a few more quick event recommendations to get you through July. If you want to spend the 4th by the water, there's a fishing derby at Lake Taylor in Nemacolin, and they've got prizes for whoever catches the biggest fish and whoever catches the most fish within an hour.
And if you need recommendations for fishing, check out our website, pittsburgh.citycast.fm, because we have a bunch of cool tips for how to do it in and around the city.
Yes, and there's a wildflower festival at Freedom Farms in Valencia. So that's going to be on July 13th and 14th, and you can pick sunflowers, snapdragons, and all kinds of pretty flowers.
If you are a soccer fan, Liverpool is facing off against Real Betis at Acrisure Stadium on July 26th. It's the first time these clubs will be playing each other since 2005, and the first time they're both competing in Pittsburgh. I will be honest, I did not know Pittsburgh hosted major soccer matches, and I certainly didn't know we could get a team as popular as Liverpool to play here. So I imagine if you were into soccer, this is a pretty exciting opportunity.
Dang, Valerie, I feel like that's some low-key shade to the Riverhounds.
I mean, Liverpool, I don't follow soccer and I know Liverpool. I doubt that like people the world over are familiar with the Riverhounds. Sorry.
Can confirm, did not know what the Riverhounds were before I moved here, had heard of Liverpool.
Well, they should be. They're a very fun game if you feel like going. Finally, if you like walking tours, there is an antique skyscraper and rooftop view tour downtown on July 27th and 28th. They're being led by friend of the pod and history buff Mark Hauser. He's just so knowledgeable and really fun to learn from.
Oh, yeah. I went to one of his tours last year and Mark was super great. And then the views from the skyscrapers are incredible. I also just love getting exclusive access to places where I'm usually not allowed to be.
One last event to put on your calendar. We will be at Open Streets again this month. And just a reminder, that is when streets close down in a certain corner of the city so that, without cars on the road, you can, walk, bike, rollerblade, jump rope, skip, whatever your heart desires through the city.
Yeah, just like feel a little bit safer.
Yes, exactly. So that's going to be on July 27th in the East End, including Homewood. Please come say hi. It would make our day. We love to meet you all in person.
That is all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. Please check out our website for more of what we do, news, history, nostalgia, just so many ways to plan your perfect Pittsburgh weekends. It is all at pittsburgh.citycast.fm. And check out our Hey Pittsburgh newsletter too. It's wonderful and it's fresh in your inbox every weekday at 6 a.m. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Talk to you soon.
I thought, wait, oh my God, what is the name of that sport? Oh
Rugby?
God. Yeah, I thought they were a rugby team.
No. No, boo-boo. They're a professional soccer team.